Welcome to the grand finale of my exploration series. Today we're going to be going out to Paleto Bay and also the other side of the map just to search around there. So as you know, we have a yacht, scuba suits, boats and a helicopter here to explore with. Also, if you haven't checked out the other two episodes of this, make sure to go and look at them. It's very interesting as well, and there are a lot of things around this area that we've explored that you can go and see. But anyway, let's go over to Palomino Highlands where we can investigate a Boeing plane. But first we need to move our yacht over to the area. So it's early morning now, another really good time to be able to get to the location and explore it and stuff. Let's get on one of our boats and go over to the area. Okay, so we now parked the boat at a somewhat suitable location. Let's go over to the exact point of where the Boeing's supposed to be. So we appear to have found it straight away. It's quite big by the looks of it. So let's go in and take a look. So we got out the water, dried ourselves off a little bit, and just sitting on these rocks. But we're still wondering why it was down there and how it crashed. Because everything about it looked really, really new. Because there was no rust or anything. There wasn't too much growing on the plane or what's left of it. So I'm really confused as to why it was there or what it was carrying even. Okay, I've arrived back at the yacht and my friend here, and now we're going to go and plan out what we should do for the next one. That's quite near here. So it actually turns out the next location is pretty far away, so we're going to decide to ditch the yacht here, grab a car and drive over to it. I think that's a little bit easier. So we got our G-Wagon back out, so we're going to take this and drive over to the location now. It's quite a drive ahead of us. Okay, so on the way we realised that we didn't really have much fuel or food, so we're going to go and get some now.
to go home, but how can I help you?
Okay, so now I've got the food and drinks, and I think my friend over here was fueling up the car. Yep, he is. So we're now ready to go again. And let's go. So we've got some special permissions from the army here to actually park here so we can investigate what's going on down there. Because not many of them actually know what's there either. But we're here to do the investigating, so let's get our stuff out and go and have a look. So we are very near the area where we need to be right now, but it's getting quite dark and the pressure could get quite high. So we got this submersible here, just use that so we don't like die or anything. But I just realised there is something in front of us over here that could be quite useful to our investigations. So I think I found the hidden hatch used to get into Humane Labs. See if I can get down into it. So I wouldn't really like too much to say about that, but it's still quite interesting to look at, and it is quite cool that it's like an entrance to the actual army place in Humane Labs. Anyway, let's go on to the next thing. So we have our cameras on the back of this vehicle just to check around, just to see if there's anything that we miss. But it should be some kind of hatch that we can find. It should be quite deep. So let's keep looking and see if we can find it. There's also word of some sort of military debris field somewhere around here, so we can look out for that as well. So I think we have found something here. I'm not quite sure what it is, but it's some sort of structure. It doesn't really look like much, so let's keep going back up and see if we can look better at it. Or something here as well. It's probably part of the military debris field. So my friend in the back here actually has a huge fear of going underwater and being in this sort of place. Actually, speaking of this, I think I see the hatch down there. But anyway, this is extremely terrifying for him. I'm surprised he's lasted this long. I think I might be... Oh, this is very... Yeah, I think we're taking a bit of damage here. The pressure is getting extremely high. I don't think you can quite last long enough down there. But you can't really see it that easily because you can't really go that far down. But yeah, that is it. It's a shame you can't get down further. It's quite blurry too. It's extremely creepy. I reckon there could actually be someone down in that thing, because it seems like there are lights down there. I don't know what it is, but there definitely is something going on. It could be something with Humane Labs, but we don't really know everything. So it turns out we're not the only people who have found this sort of hatched thing, and there are a lot of people who have managed to get better submarines and stuff and actually be able to withstand the pressure down there. And they've looked closer and heard some Morse code coming from it. So I don't know what that kind of means, and no one has really been able to pick out what the Morse code is saying. But it's still extremely creepy, and there definitely is someone down there. So we've been down in the depths for quite a while now, so I think we're going to head up to Paleto Bay, because obviously there are some things around there we can investigate, maybe book a hotel that we can stay in for a bit. We've arrived at Paleto Bay, and it's a really nice coastal town. The views are absolutely beautiful. Let's go around and see if we can find a hotel to check into. So this place does look slightly run down, but I think it will do for the time we're going to be here. Swimming pool doesn't look the greatest, there's not really any water in there. I don't even want to know what the rooms look like at the moment. But yeah, as I said, it won't really be long that we'll be there for. Let's go to the reception and try and get a room. So we actually immediately left that one, not because the rooms looked horrible, because we would have stayed there despite them being horrible. But when we got into reception, there are some people there trying to offer us some certain things that I would not like to say on camera. So we're going to see if we can find something else so we can go in. So we have arrived at Bayview Lodge, as you can see by a sign over there, and it does say it's a diner and general store, but I believe that back here in these places there are actually some rooms, and they're probably not going to be very big, and they do look not the greatest again, but hopefully they could be a little bit better than last time, and they won't offer us anything, so let's go and check in. So we managed to book into one of the nicest suites they had here around the back. And it looks very, very nice. So we got some bookshelves over here. There's some kind of bedroom over here. Yeah, here it is. Wardrobes and stuff. Quite nice. Kitchen for all our food and drink needs. A friend over here is already drinking. And obviously a dining area and a living area. This will be pretty nice. Put all our gear down and relax, I think. But anyway, let's discuss what we can do for the next place. So my friend's just gone into the bathroom to get changed. I think I'm going to try and steal the bed so he can't get it. As there's only one bed in here, so let's try and make him sleep on the couch and to take the bed for ourselves. So we both have a good rest now, and I think it's time to go back out. And it is quite dark outside, I think, because it is quite late evening. But we should add a lot more atmosphere to our adventure. So let's go scuba gear on, my friend's still on the booze, and go off. So we just went for a bite to eat at the restaurant here, so we're just coming out, and we're going to go back to the G-Wagon and go to the location. It's actually just down the road, so let's go. So we can't really take the G-Wagon much further, so we're going to ditch it here and go across this beach. We're slightly out to sea there, as you can see it's in the distance. There should be some kind of like cargo plane, a little bit like the one before. It could be looking slightly different, maybe a different type of plane, and it could have just looks a lot different. Also in that direction over there, it should be a submarine that we can go and check out. So we'll do that straight after. For some reason it's extremely shallow down here, so I don't really know why the plane wouldn't be sticking up. Oh, unless it's actually down here, which I can see that it is. So far I can just see an engine. Let's see if there's anything else around. Oh, that might be part of it over here. This plane must have crashed fast if the engine flew all the way over there. Let's check this out. Parts of the plane are absolutely everywhere. I don't know how it would have crashed and it just went absolutely everywhere. It's all just so spaced apart, and it's odd that it's so shallow even though we're really deep out to sea at the moment. That's quite strange as well. Thankfully the cars have been stolen like the jet skis in the previous video. Anyway, I think we need to go and get some more oxygen tanks from the clothes store nearby, because they are running very low and they're getting quite damaged.
Hi, welcome. You looking for anything special?
Okay, we got some new oxygen tanks now, so let's go over to the submarine. So it looks like we've arrived in some kind of national park, so let's head down to the beach and try and find where the location could be. So over in this direction we have to go even further and quite a long walk, but look at Chiliad there. That is an absolutely beautiful view from down here. It's amazing. Anyway, let's go in this direction and see if we can find the submarine. So a kind guy actually came up to us and lent us this dinghy, so we're going to use this to get over to the area and hopefully not destroy it. So we've now arrived at the location, and I think it should actually be just down here. Let's go in and have a look. So me and my friend have been looking around for this submarine thing for quite a long time now, and we just cannot seem to find it anywhere. So I think we might have to call it quits for now and see if we can find it another time. Or it could just be extremely deep in that direction over there, and we just cannot find it because it will just get crushed. Anyway, I think it might be time to head out now. It's quite unfortunate we didn't get to see the submarine, but yeah, it would probably be easier just to get out. So my associates that are somewhere else right now have actually been contacting me that there actually is another submarine that we can find. So back there was also supposed to be some sort of UFO, not just a submarine, but this time there actually is going to be a proper submarine that we can go and find. So it looks like we can't really go around this mountain much further, so we have to actually go up it and over. And I think we have arrived. So let's go off the bike, maybe take these jet skis that have been left here, and go over. So it turns out we didn't actually really have to go too far out to sea. We should actually be down here somewhere. So I think I've actually found it here. It seems to be... I've been here for quite a long time. Oh my god. Rust is everywhere. Yeah, this is definitely not very new. Let's go over here and try and investigate this bit out. So we're probably going to be leaving it there for all our explorations. There could be some more in the future we could discover. But thank you very much for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed. We're actually going to be quickly going over what we have actually seen over the past few days. And also apologies if you hear any colleagues in the background. They're probably going to be talking about even newer places we could explore in the future. But yeah, let's go on to other stuff that we can talk about. So first of all, we started with the research lab, which just at the end of my finger there. It's kind of in that area where that is. And it was actually quite cool. It was quite big as well. And it obviously links to the squid myth, or there possibly being some kind of creature down there that could have destroyed it. But we still don't really know what actually caused the research lab to be down there in the first place, or why it was there. Because obviously there wasn't many things to show there are people going down there often, and any areas people could get across to it. So yeah, it's personally one of my favourites, I think. So next we had the tire graveyard and the whale bones, and the whale bones were obviously quite weird considering there aren't actually any animals often about, and we couldn't really see many in the sea except for a few fish. That was quite strange to see out there. And also there were tires in the tire graveyard. And that was very, very confusing, and me and my colleagues here did not really know why that was there. They're not really quite my favourites, but they were still very mysterious, and it was just really confusing as to why they were there, and it was quite weird, to be honest. Further up north, we did a tugboat and a cargo plane, and the tugboat wasn't too interesting because there wasn't really much there, it was just quite rusty, and it's just a boat really. And the cargo plane was slightly even more north, was absolutely gigantic, and it was really, really cool to see. And it looked quite fresh as well, like it's quite new. Obviously we hadn't really seen many things on the news about it being there, so it could be some kind of like secret government thing they're just hiding from us, so that makes it quite cool. Another one of my favourites. Next we had our cargo ship and the trash. So the trash was, just trash. So it wasn't really much there, just some bits of metal and wood across the place. Some bits have probably fallen into the river from the docks, the sea from the docks or the Elysian Island. And the cargo ship was again massive and probably been there for quite a while because it was again very rusty. And I hadn't really heard about that either, so that could be another secret government thing they could be hiding from us. So for the cargo plane as well and the cargo ship, it still remains a mystery as to what they were carrying too. Then we had the Boeing just down over this way, and it again wasn't too interesting, but it was really, really big. And it could again be hiding some kind of government secret, but it was just a Boeing, so it would probably be carrying passengers. And hopefully people did actually get out in time before the plane exploded and sank to the bottom of the sea. After that we had the military debris and the hatch. Now the hatch was extremely creepy and definitely my favourite out of everything we discovered, because it was just so creepy down there and it's still such a mystery. So what is down there, and obviously the rumours of the Morse code down there, whatever that could mean, and also like possibly people being down there and not being able to come back up, so they could possibly be trapped or anything like that, and then like lights flickering and stuff too. So that was absolutely amazing, I thought. And the military debris was, I thought, quite boring, so there wasn't too much there, and it was just little bits of maybe leftover tanks or helicopters, so yeah, it wasn't just that interesting, to be honest. Then we had the possible sightings of the UFO and submarine, but again there's not really too much to say about that because we didn't actually really find anything. But I wonder what the rumours actually were and how they started and why people thought there could have been something there. Well, we might have to actually investigate that in the future. Finally we had the submarine, which is down over in this direction, just there. Oh, not there. Just there. And yeah, so that was kind of big-ish, but there wasn't really too much to it, and it wasn't too interesting, as it was all kind of like still stuck together and there weren't parts everywhere. You could sort of go inside parts of it, but loads of stuff would probably floated out back into the sea. And yeah, go inside a little bit, but there's nothing really there to show any like interest or anything. So thank you very much for watching this series that me and my friend here have made. It's been really interesting for us, and I hope it has for you as well. Hopefully in the future we can discover a couple of more things in the ocean. I know there are some things already you can discover, but they're not too interesting, so you could just put them in a separate episode that we could share out. But just a very quick one, not really too much explaining to it, just showing off like where they are and stuff. In the future we could do some stuff on land as well, because I know there are some things that people haven't really discovered before, but that could be quite well into the future, because we need to discover what's actually there first before we actually release it. So thank you again very much for watching, and hopefully I can do some more episodes soon.